This is deja vu all over again. You know that feeling, that painful feeling you get. I can't be. You remember the game against Spurs, the 2-2 against Spurs. It's the same feeling, so close to the Holy Grail. Yes, so far away, man. Another draw against the Big Six team. So close, definitely so close to the victory. Welcome everyone to MRM Sports. I'm your host, Ronald M. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1. Right at the death, 94th minute, Casemiro with a beautiful header. I mean, I can't hate on the header. In as much as like it caused a mini heartbreak, definitely heartbreak. I can't hate on the header, man. It was a beautiful header, a striker's header, really, a seasoned striker's header. If that was Ronaldo Benzema, you say, yeah, that's world class. If that was Nunes, even if that was Haaland, when you say beautiful header, and for Casemiro to be there in the box, it was a beautiful header. This feeling's deja vu all over again. It feels like that Spurs game against Chelsea, that 2-2, when Spurs also got like a late equalizer. It's the same feeling. But then going into this game, the way we played, I can't complain too much. I don't think we created so many chances. Let me just say, overall in the game, man, you could tell it was 4th versus 5th. It was a poor game to watch. A very substandard game. For two of the biggest clubs in the world, in England, that was a poor game to watch, man. It didn't really flow. There was no end to attacking. Even if, teams don't attack each other, but then the technical side, rather, it was just all over the place, man. You could see both teams are lacking so much. I mean, Chelsea, the obvious thing is we need a defensive midfielder. We need a DM, not only a DM. For me, I think if I was in the Chelsea support, I'll just go to Leicester and just rate them. Get Ndidi and Madison. Let them come in. At least, yes, they're not world-class players, but then they could do a better job just sitting in front of the defense and also creating. Because, Opa gets subbed and Opa looks ineffective at the moment at Chelsea. It's not that he's a bad player of a sudden or he doesn't know how to score goals all of a sudden, but then we are not creating chances. And if you follow football in any sense, shape or form, Sterling has to be involved more in the game. Sterling will always make mistakes. Sterling will always waste chances. At City, how many chances did you waste for the number of goals he scored, So in a team that doesn't create any clear-cut chances, obviously Sterling won't score goals because he's not that clinical of a player. He's not that clinical player would expect from a winger or stuff like that, man. He's not your Mane. He's not your Salah on form, So it's no wonder he seems to be struggling in a Chelsea shirt. It's no wonder Opa seems to be lost in the game. Because again, man, we just not a creative team. We are not. I mean, the last time we had a creative player like Eden Hazard and Fabregas, those were the last creative players we had. We have bought all these players, but then somehow it doesn't work for us in them. They don't work for us. I mean, Pulisic is hot and cold. Ziyech is nowhere to be seen. Mount is not a number 10. He's more of a number 8. So we can excuse me a bit. I remember the times when we went to Oscar, Willian, Hazard. Remember that time? Man, that was fun times in Chelsea. We had so much creative players. It's so shocking that area of the pitch hasn't been addressed at all, man. And I think that's where, like, today watching the game, like, we could see. I mean, kudos to Graham Potter for being in Kovacic in 36 minutes. Because before that, man, we're all over the place. We're so short in the midfield. Robert Lotach looked as if he was lacking confidence. His touches were wild. Was failing to control the ball. Was failing to pass. I mean, J5 was, at times I thought J5 was playing alone in the midfield. That was something else for me, man. I think, Jorginho looks so different when there's two other midfielders around him. And we've always seen this. I mean, in games where Chelsea play, if it's him and Kante is almost like two players in one. So Jorginho will always look a bit good. And you could see as soon as Kovacic got into the game changed for us. I mean, after the 36th minute, I think we became the better team. Definitely finished the first half in a better position, playing better football. We're starting to attack a bit more. Opa starting to get involved because other than that, we're nullified from the onset. I mean, on the side of Manchester United, in all honesty, you can see they're lacking a striker. Like, in as much as I would try to say Rashford is a striker, he's not a striker. like the way they played from the first minute to the 36th minute, they could have easily scored 2 goals. If they had a clinical striker, they could have easily scored 2 goals. You think of the Rashford chance where Kepa came out quickly and just saved the ball. I think of the Anthony chance. I know it was on his weaker right foot, but then if Ronaldo was one of those chances fallen to Ronaldo, I mean, they could have went to the halftime leading 1-0, man. But then again, from United side, it must be a shock. I mean, Varane. We all know Varane is injury prone, but then the way it went down. I mean, at first, before I saw it was a serious injury. It went down in a comical way. You know those baby tears when they're falling and the legs just lock up. And I thought maybe he tripped himself or stuff, but then obviously we can see that the way he was so emotional after when the game was stopped for him, the way he was so emotional. I don't know if it wasn't the pain. I think him knowing his body, because he's always injured, he knew he had pulled something or something had happened, and maybe in his mind was thinking, I'm missing the World Cup. I'm definitely missing the World Cup. And I thought with Lindelof coming in, I thought maybe Chelsea would try and attack the flank more, attack the Dalot and Lindelof flank more. But then nonetheless, man, we just didn't. And can I say this? That was a Stonewall penalty. I don't care which team you support. I mean, obviously United fans, after the game, I think if they'd lost, they'd say it's not a penalty. But then since they drew, I've already seen some of my friends in some groups on WhatsApp saying it was a penalty. Scott was a bit clumsy. And for a change, I think Chelsea, against United always get this dubious calls in favor of them. I mean, you can remember the Maguire thing on us played a few seasons ago. So for a change, it was good to see the rest giving that to Chelsea, because I feel like Scott wasn't even looking at the ball. He was just focusing on Broca to make sure he doesn't get at the end. And I think to make matters worse, Scott is actually the one who headed the ball for another corner before the ref pointed to the spot. So Broca could have got at the end of the cross, really. And that was a clear-cut penalty, man. It was a Stonewall penalty. At that point, man, I was so ready to just troll United fans, to just drag them, man. To just drag the whole United support base, fan base, and the team. But then, behold, Casemiro, that dying spirit that never said attitude from Real Madrid released, came to him in the last minute and he scored a beautiful header. But yeah, man, I'm happy with the draw, because after the first 36 minutes, I really thought we were going to lose the game and I was going to have a bad night. But then I'm happy with the draw. We're still in 4th position. I think it's now up to us to just cement the 4th position and make sure. I think the next game we've got, I'm not sure which team are playing now. It's just keep my mind. But then we have to make sure we try and maintain the top 4. We try and maintain the top 4. And from a United perspective, man, it's been a tough three games, past 3 game weeks. I mean, Newcastle at home, Spurs at home, and Chelsea away. So for them to get 4 points out of a possible nothing at all, man, that's testament to the work Ten Hag is doing. And in the midst of this whole CR7 saga, again, it's a testament to what Ten Hag is doing, the way he's handling that whole situation. Because the first 36 minutes, you could see the team is fighting. But then after that, you could see it's a team in progress. You could see it's a team that is trying to develop something. You can see some partnerships forming for them. I think, again, Eriksen is key for them. It'll be interesting to see if other teams will be willing. Like, for example, they have West Ham next weekend, I believe. If they to maybe try and man-mark Eriksen, would that nullify Manchester United? Because I think it would. I think it definitely would. I think Eriksen is the key factor for them. And for Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag knows Eriksen is the player for him. In as much as Bruno is a creative player, he doesn't normally drop deep to try and receive the ball. Eriksen does that job and links up the play for them. So again, man, it was not the best game to watch. I've definitely seen better games between these two teams, even when Chelsea is losing. I remember the 4-0 when Chelsea lost with Lampard. We definitely played better football. But then we lost 4-0. It was a better game to watch that day. But tonight's game, it was an okay game. Like, there was nothing special about the game other than the 2 talking points, or the both goals anyway. It was just an okay team, and you can see the team far off your Manchester City. I almost say Liverpool, but Liverpool have their own problems. You could see it's a team far off even Arsenal at this point in time, man. The way they play the games. But then I think onwards we march with Graham Potter. Hopefully we get better in the next game. And then we have to talk about Liverpool. I mean, I never saw it coming. I mean, what the heck is going on with Liverpool? Losing away from home to Nottingham Forest, man. How does Liverpool lose that game? Like, in as much as that, like, back-to-back victories against City and against West Ham, how do then you go away from home and lose to a team? In all honesty, I don't think anyone played. If I bet him, man, how many of you did put money on Nottingham Forest to win that game? Like, how many people made money from that game? If you did, man, then your witchcraft is strong. Your powers are strong. But for Liverpool to lose that game, man, I think Klopp, it's a weird one because you almost want to say Klopp is down and out, but then they do perform like they did against City and then get a slender win against West Ham. But then I think that's a saving grace. Really, the battle of top four. Think about it. Newcastle, if they wanted to, they could sneak in and snatch top four. It's there for the taking. Chelsea are not playing the best football as of yet. United are also stuttering. Liverpool are worse off than they've ever been in the past 5-6 seasons. And you think of Newcastle, they are playing good football. They could really snatch top four if they wanted to. It's up to them. I think they're definitely in the race for top four. If they manage to defeat Spurs tomorrow, I think then we can say Newcastle can get top four. Because it's in their hands as well, man. The way they're playing, I mean, the players were injured. If they come back strong, if they sign more players in January, it's definitely in their hands to get top four. Because the way Liverpool are playing, I mean, again, there's no fluidity in that team. There's no creativity. In as much as, yes, you still have your Salah, you still have your Firmino, they are missing chances, but then Liverpool are not creating those 7, 8, 9, 10 chances they used to create in a game. And it's more than just money going. I think for now, it's more than just money going. There's more to the problem now. But then, I can't complain. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, I want all these teams to start so that we have a clearer path to the top 4 position. And let's quickly talk about Everton, man. I'm happy for Lampard. In as much as I have a soft spot for Vieira, I also have a soft spot for Lampard. And for Everton to win 3-0. I mean, Iwobi. I think I said it during the international break that Iwobi is a changed man. And he has 5 assists now. So, in the league at the moment. I mean, only KDB is ahead of him. Ever since Lampard put him in the midfield, I mean, Iwobi has been a revelation. And that third goal, that McNeil goal, man, you have to say. That is a for me so far, that's the goal of the weekend. That's a beautiful goal. I mean, just a flick from Iwobi, the backing from Iwobi for McNeil to finish it after a massive run. That's a beautiful, beautiful goal, man. And like Lampard is picking up victories. I mean, I was really scared for him when he was losing, when he lost 3 games in a spin. But then now, again, he's back on form, he's back on track, and he's proving that he's a good coach. His team is playing good football. I mean, I never thought Vieira would lose 3 in that game. In honesty, I thought it was going to be a draw, because at Palace do have like good players. But then for Everton to come out strong and make sure they get those 3 points, I think it's massive for them. And if I'm being honest, if I'm frank, I'll be just counting points, just minusing from the magic 40 points. I mean, if he manages to get even the 25 to 30 points before the World Cup, or even 20 points before the World Cup, then he knows other side of the World Cup is to try and get another 20 points and he's safe. Because I think for now, Everton, their job is to just make sure that they're close to the top half of the table if they can, and make sure they don't get anywhere near a relegation battle. And then finally, on Manchester City, what can we say? Haaland with the brace, KTP with the stand of a goal. But then Brighton give them a tough, especially the second half, man. Like City, it's rare to see teams put City under pressure like that at heart, man. Whenever City are at home, you expect them to run through teams. It's rare. I mean, if you look at the scoreline 3-1, you think City did it easy. But then, second half, Brighton did play good football. I mean, Brighton, yes, Chelsea have Brighton next. So that's going to be a crack of a game. Graham Potter hosting his former team. He knows them more than anyone else, so we'll see what it does for Chelsea. But then that was a crack of a game. I mean, City were, for Pep to be put under pressure like that. I mean, they're playing their own half. Everyone was behind the ball. Your Haaland was also behind the ball, man. That was a scary game for City. And can you say, I mean, Ederson, I mean, when it comes to ball distribution, when it comes to pick up passes, Ederson is better than some midfielders we've seen. I mean, think of the Manchester United midfield. Who would you trust to pass the goal? Would you trust Scott McTominay or would you trust Ederson? Would you trust Fred or would go for Ederson? So definitely they have players. Ederson is definitely ahead of a lot of midfielders when it comes to just distributing the ball. And the way he's so calm, the way he picks up players. I mean, the first goal for City, that wasn't just a clearance, a ball over the top. That was a pinpoint pass. He knew where to put it for Haaland to get at the end of it. And again, man, Haaland is doing Haaland things. I mean, obviously, we know now he's going to break the goal scoring record. I think the 32 goals by Salah, I mean, they're done and dusted already. I mean, Haaland might be on 20 goals before the World Cup. And after that, he just needs like another 20 or another 15 or another 16 to just establish his own record. But nonetheless, man, it was an interesting Saturday of football. I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely love seeing, okay, not love, but then definitely enjoyed the shock at Liverpool. Liverpool away from home. I definitely enjoyed the City game, to see City under pressure. And of course, the Chelsea game, man. The heartbreaking Chelsea game. Even though it wasn't a loss, like again, what I'll say, man. It was a good point. We march on. In Graham Potter, we believe the Potter party will continue. The Potter ball will continue to roll on. And if you're not a fan, I mean, you can feel like a top G now. I think a win and the draw, against Spurs and Chelsea. It's not a bad result to get. In honesty, not a bad. Out of 6 points, those are good 4 points. And they maintain just a point behind Chelsea in top 4 position. Just slip up, we expect United to try and overtake us and even try to catch Spurs, man. But then tomorrow, Sunday, we have more games coming up. We have big games coming up for Arsenal to try and maintain the league, like extend the position back, extend the 4-point gap at City, and a huge game for Spurs against Newcastle, man. I can't wait for that game. I know it'll be a cracking game. And with Chelsea having played, I think my heart tomorrow will be just, my energy will be back again. I'll be just enjoying football and absorbing more football. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Check out more content we're going to drop. I will definitely see you in a reaction video for tomorrow's games, man. Signing out. Cheers.